Years ago, we were one with the caribou, the land, water, and animals. It has been passed down from generation to generation that a piece of the caribou heart lies within the Gwich'in, and a piece of the Gwich'in heart lies within the caribou. We made a vow to take care of each other. The land would sustain the caribou, and the caribou would sustain us as a people. But today, the Gwich'in and the many Alaska Natives are facing unexpected obstacles in keeping our sacred land, the sacred place where life began, intact and untouched. As Alaska melts twice the rate as the rest of the world, and corporations trying to drill for oil in an area we consider very sacred, we have been working harder than ever before. I grew up in Gwich'in, Fort Yukon, Alaska. Our people still live mainly off of the land, the water, and the animals. But recently, we have witnessed extreme changes in our home, and therefore we are greatly concerned about our food security. The experienced hunters that provide food for our communities have been getting into accidents. Lakes that were once frozen over are thawing. There have been mudslides and sinkholes. Our animals are dying. We found thousands of dead fish in our rivers and lakes. Ticks have been discovered for the first time ever on our precious animals. Dead birds are literally falling from the sky. The environment around us is collapsing, taking our main source of nutrients with it. Protecting our land and animals has always been a part of our upbringing. It took a deep awakening for me to realize I need to step up and fight. After losing my brother to suicide, I turned to drinking and drugs to escape the pain. I became disconnected from my land and my people. One day I traveled to Deshenle, a mountain in the ancestral homelands of the Gwich'in. I felt so overwhelmed. I cried, and I asked Creator for forgiveness for being disconnected for so long. But I was there to share in my responsibility as a Gwich'in and as a mother. The experience revived something within me. I was ready to fight for my land. I was ready to fight for our people. In 2017, the Trump administration wanted to open up the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to oil and gas development. This was the sacred breeding ground of the caribou, and there was no way we were going to let that happen. I began attending shareholder meetings of the companies wanting to harm our land. I went to meet the banks that funded them. It was extremely difficult. When someone doesn't believe they're contributing to the destruction and colonization of Indigenous people, it's hard to convince them otherwise. But giving up is not an option. We have traveled many times to Washington, D.C., and have spoken at the United Nations. We designed a youth group, giving the next generation the tools they need to protect our sacred lands and our way of life. Today, my family and I are on our way to the biannual Gwich'in gathering. When I am surrounded by my community, I remember everything. It's like my heart starts beating again. Being with them reminds me why we fight. The fight won't stop until we are sure our land and the calving grounds are safe for generations to come. I wouldn't say I'm an activist or an environmentalist. It was a position that I was forced into when our climate began to collapse. I'm doing this so my children and grandchildren can have a future in their homelands, just as our ancestors and the caribou have done for thousands of years.